Hello there, grade twos and any grade threes who decided to tag along. You're welcome here today. I hope you don't mind not seeing my face. I've just learned how to record my computer, but I haven't learned yet how to put my face on there at the same time. So I hope my voice will be good enough for the day. I just really wanted you to see what was on my computer screen instead of trying to draw it myself. You'll see why in a few minutes. These are actually the questions I had on the whiteboards on the wall yesterday. I just typed them on here. So let's go over them together. Now I'm going to be using my mouse to draw, and hopefully I won't make it too messy. So I hope you won't mind if it doesn't look quite as nice as my usual printing. I will do my best. All right, let's go over these addition questions together. Let's make our tea. Oh, yeah, we're already getting a little bit wobbly. I'll slow down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's add our ones first. We've got 8 plus 9. So we know that we have 8. Please put up 9 fingers. You'll have to imagine my fingers. And let's count from 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we cannot write 2 digits in one spot. We're going to write the 7 and take the new 10 that we made and put it over here in the tens column. I think I maybe should have just left that one as a line, but I think you can know what it is. Now we have 1 plus 4 plus 3. So like yesterday, I'm going to add 1 plus 3 to make another 4. And if you remember your doubles, 4 plus 4 equals 8. Let's see if I can make a nice 8 with a mouse. Not too bad. And so our answer to that question is 87. All right. Let's see if I can make my T a little straighter for this next one here. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. So first we have 7 plus 5. Now, I didn't explain what I did over here very well, but what I did was I made the number of dots for the bottom number, and the top we just started counting on. So to make that more clear, I'm going to make my 5 dots first, and then as I count them, I'll point to them. So starting with 7, let's count on from there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 7 plus 5 is 12. Now again, only one digit belongs there, so the 2 gets to stay, but that new 10 we made is going over here to the tens column. Now 1 plus 2 plus 6. We have 1 plus 2 equals 3. Let's do my trick over here again. I'm going to make 6 dots to keep us on track. Starting with 3, because we already know what a 3 is. Let's count on from there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so our answer to that question is 92. Let's move on to our subtraction questions. So once again, not my best T. I'll try to keep that a little more straight. Okay, so let's switch gears. We are taking away now. We're subtracting. So make sure you don't start adding by mistake. It's an easy thing to do. All right, we have 2, and we need to take away 5. We cannot do that. We need to borrow from the pizza place. We need to get 10 more in order to make this question work. So we cross out that 7 there, and we're going to make a 6. We've taken a box of pizza and brought it next door. Now we're adding 10 slices to the 2 we've got there, and 10 plus 2 makes 12. Now 12 minus 5 we can do. Once again, I'm going to make the dots since you can't see my fingers. Now remember, we touch the number and then we subtract for each dot we see. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 12 minus 5 equals 7. And if you'll notice over here, by the way, 7 plus 5 was 12. 12 minus 5 equals 7. That is what we call a fact family. That's a lesson for another day. For now, though, just remember that those 3 numbers fit together. Back over here, 6 minus 1, we know how to do that. 6 take away just 1, go backwards 1 is a 5. So the answer to that question is 57. All right, moving right along here. Oh, that's probably my straightest one yet. Well, this one's pretty good too. See if I can go up and down straight. Not the best. Trying my best. Oh, okay, well, I've done worse. Okay. Wow. Now this pizza place has 0 pieces of pizza. No matter what happens, we cannot subtract from that because they don't have anything. We need to borrow. So going next door, they've got 8 boxes of pizza. Well, we're just going to have to borrow one of those. And since there's 10 pieces in that box and we don't have any over here, that's a 10 we're going to put up here. Now 10 minus 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For those of you watching the grade 3 multiplication videos, you'll notice that I've made a very messy array and that we can count by threes. 3, 6, 9. At any rate, we are subtracting, not multiplying. So let's count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 minus 9 is 1. Some of you knew that right off the bat. Good for you. Now 7 minus 3 we can also do. Let's do 3. I'll set it up like dice so it's a little bit more familiar for you. 7, 6, 5, 4. And so the answer to that question is 41. Let's move on to our comparing questions over here. We've got 22 and we've got 40. We start by looking at the tens. And as you can see, 20 is less than 40. And so we are going to make the less than sign, which means that the mouth is eating the bigger number, which is the 40. 67 and 62. Well, we look at the tens first, but they are the same in this question. 60 is equal to 60. We're going to have to look at the ones to figure this out. So we've got 7 and 2, and we clearly know that 7 is the greater number, and therefore 67 is greater than 62. We've got 93 and 93. I know you know the answer, but let's just look at it piece by piece like the others. We look at the tens. They both are a 9. That's equal. Let's look at the ones. They are both a 3. That is equal as well, so we are going to make an equal sign. The last one here, as you can see, it's the same digits but reversed. In 13, we have a 1 in the 10 spot and a 3 in the ones. In 31, we have a 3 in the 10 spot and a 1 in the ones. So if we look at the tens, we know that 1 10 is smaller than 3 tens, which means that 13 is less than 31. Okay, great job. All right, so let's look here at the next page. So today we're going to be practicing ordering. And ordering is really the same thing as comparing, except that we've got an extra number, okay? So what we're really doing is we're saying which number is the smallest and which one is in the middle and then which one is the biggest. So it's the same idea. Now, here's why I wanted to use a computer for this, is that you have seen me try to draw 10 blocks and ones in class, and it gets very messy and I'm not neat at it. So this is kind of a cool trick you can do with the computer. This is set to make as many of these as I want. So is this little block here. So if you take a look at the number 17, we're going to make that with base 10 blocks so we can compare them. So here we go. Now, 17 has 1 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And just a note about the way I've organized the blocks here. I've kind of set them up to look like the dots on a dice. The reason I did that is because that makes it a lot easier for you to quickly see how many dots you have, or to subbatize. That's the big kid word for it. And I realize I called them dots, but they're blocks. Anyway, so we have 10, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have 17 here now. Let's make 13, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, same thing here. And now as for 20, 10, and 20. All right, so if you take a look at what we've got going on here, once again, we're going to compare the tens first, and you'll see why in a moment if it isn't clear to you already. Now, if we look at the ones, this number here has the most ones. This one has the second most ones, and this one has the least amount of ones. However, if we take a careful look at the tens, this one only has 1 10, this one only has 1 10, but this one here has 2 10s. This is clearly going to be the bigger number, because if you split these apart, there's 10 in each stick here, and that would make a lot more blocks than the other two. So 20 is going to be our biggest number here, or our greatest number. So I am once again going to try to write neatly with the pen here. So 20 is going to remain as the greatest number. Now we need to look at the 13 and the 17. So they have the same number of tens. So then, of course, we would look at the ones. So we've got 7 ones here and 3 ones here. Now 7 is greater than 3. So we know that 13 is the lesser number. So I'm going to actually write 13 over here. And we know that 17 is greater than 13, but it is less than 20. So it's going to go in the middle. And just to show you that we really are doing the same thing, just with an extra number, I'm going to add the greater than, lesser than signs. So for a minute, I'm just going to see if I can find, here we go, the screen shade. Now this is kind of cool. I can cover part of the page so that you can see what I'm talking about without thinking about something else. So for a moment, I'm just going to cover up that 20. So we have 13 and 17. We already decided that 13 was less than 17. So I'm going to make the less than sign. All right. So now I'm going to move the shade this way until we can only see the 17 and the 20. I've still got the pen here, so that's helpful. Now, the 17, we said, is less than the 20. So we're going to make the less than sign here. So now let's say that I move the screen here down. And as you can see, 13 is less than 17, which is less than 20. So that's really the only trick to ordering numbers. Let's do 2 more practices and then we'll call it a lesson for the day. All right, we've got some slightly bigger numbers now. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make our base 10 blocks for each of these numbers. So work with me here. How many 10s are in 28? 1 and 2. And how many 1s are in 28? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. All right, so now we're going to look at the number 50. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. There. And now the number 12. 10, 11, 12. Okay. So looking at the blocks, I think it is very clear from the get-go which of these numbers is the greatest or the largest number. If you look at the 10s, 50 has 5 10s in it. That is far more than 2 or 1. So I'll get my pen back here. And we are going to write 50 over here. That is going to be the greatest number out of these 3. Now we want to look at the other two. I'll just cross this out for a moment. I'll erase that in a second, but I just want to cross it out to show that we've already done that one. And let's look at the 2 numbers that are left, 28 and 12. Now again, we're going to look at the 1s first. Or sorry, we're going to look at the 10s first. I got a little distracted because I was thinking about how the 1s are also bigger. But let's look at the 10s. This number has 2 10s. This number only has 1. 12 is the least of these three numbers, and 28 fits in the middle. All right, and it looks like when I switch between screens, I lose the shade that I can pull back and forth. So this time I'll just let you see the whole thing. So 12 is less than 28, so we're going to draw that sign again. And 28 is less than 50. There we go. And I said I was going to erase that X, and I'm going to do that now. Actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to delete it. Oh, I guess it just deleted the one part, so I'll delete the other part here. Okay, there we go. All right, one more, and then we will figure out the end of the lesson. All right, I've chosen some bigger numbers here. So let's do 98. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. All right, now let's do our ones. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98. There we go. Again, I'm so glad that I am not trying to draw this myself because it would not look near this good. Let's do 72. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72. All right, and finally, let's do 86. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 86. By the way, if you're wondering about all those lines that keep showing up as I move objects, those are meant to help you line up any objects you're putting on the screen so you can make everything look nice and neat. I'm not making mine terribly straight because I don't want you to sit here all day watching me fiddle with these and making them perfect. They're neat enough as they are. That should be able to help us get our information that we need. So let me get my pen back here. All right, so let's start with the tens. So we've got 9, 7, and 8 tens. And just looking at the tens that we have here, we can see that 98 has the most tens, 86 is in the middle, and 72 has the least tens. We could look at the ones, but what is more important in ordering numbers is to make sure that we look at the highest, value place. So in this case, the tens. So 72 will be the least. 72 is less than 86, which is less than 98. All right. I hope that this review of this has been helpful to you. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow.